Good evening and welcome back. And it's another Talking Technical. And for those that is not staying in the Karoo, like myself, I can just tell you that it is nice, cold, and wet out here. And what's a beauty is that the other day it was -6 degrees, but luckily we've got an old coal stove in the house. And I think some of you will remember that. And Erica made some lovely soup, and we've got a nice old Essie in the bedroom. So for us, it is cold, but we enjoy it. So thank you for watching the show. And first of all, we've got flooded requests. I hope I can fit Bitcoin in because everybody wants to know what is the story with Bitcoin. So let's kick off with Renergen. And that was a request received on Twitter. Now, Renergen, if I look at it, I talked about it a while back. And if you look at it, I want to use this 200-day moving average to just shows you that the momentum above this moving average is still 100% intact. A few days ago, it tested almost this moving average at 34.20, but immediately it bounced off there. And that, for me, that's a positive. But as you can remember, I think on a previous show, I actually showed this rising wedge. I just want to show you that it did play out. There you are. I just want to draw it in there and show you. There you are. There was the rising wedge. It came into play at 38.92. It went down to reach its target, or maybe a little bit higher than its target, and it bounced off there. But what worries me now, and this is what worries me, and I know a lot of analysts love the stock, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with the company, but look at this line. This is a support line that's been in place for quite a while. Then it turned into a resistance, and it is now a resistance, and now it came back and it tested this line, and it's coming back now. And for me then, that is what we call a negative technical goodbye. That makes me a little bit nervous. But on the other hand, I mean, if the share can just go above this 41 Rand, then of course the momentum to the top will come into play again. But my first warning signal will be this little line there. Because if it breaks below that, I can see loss of momentum. I can see that the negative technical goodbye has been tested and it's showing some weakness. And below this line, and there you are, 37 Rand 10 cents. We can easily see some move to the downside. Keep this 200-day moving average intact. And I've written this week to someone as well. The person asked about a medium to a long-term view. Now, the classic long-term view is always above the 200-day moving average. For a medium-term view, I like to use sometimes a 50-day or even a 100-day moving average. But the 200-day moving average works well for the long-term investor. Let's have a look at Home Depot in the New York Stock Exchange. I mean, first of all, and I want to show the 200-day moving average tonight. There it was all the way above it, and suddenly it broke below that. Now the 200-day moving average is a resistance. And I can remember a book that I used many years ago. In actual fact, I'm still using it. Is the book written by Stan Weinstein, How to Make Money in Bull and Bear Markets. And he has got a simple rule. He just says, if the share moves above the 200-day moving average, then you just buy. And you're happy to buy, and you stick to your stop loss. If a share moves below the 200-day moving average, you just leave it alone and wait for it to actually show you that something is negative until there's maybe a reversal or a positive candle. But for the meantime, unfortunately, the share says to you, you must just leave me alone, don't buy me. And for me, where will be the first sign of strength? I will use this little line here. I know we had a little bit of a relief bounce the other day, but still a lot of work to be done here. There's the little line. Only above $281.40. I will start to become positive on it. But at the moment, momentum down, just leave it alone. And above 281.40, you can maybe look at, maybe nibble on it, maybe make use then of a stop loss of 270 to protect your capital, because maybe it needs to get back to 309. But for me, only above 343, a medium to a long-term investor can be happy about the share. I had a few requests on the SP 500, and I know there's many instruments to trade the SP 500, I trade the S&P 500 in dollars, but you can also trade it in rand. There's many instruments, but I think the question here is, how does the chart looks like on a medium to a long-term view? Well, guys, unfortunately, the selling is still with us. And I know this week it looks a little bit better, but I will only get positive. And remember, this is now a daily chart. It's not even a weekly chart. I will only get positive if the S&P 500 can move above 3794. Let's make it 38. And it's trading now at 3674. Yes, what we can understand and we know about that is when you have got a share in a bear market, you usually get these beautiful relief bounces until you start to see higher lows. And at this point in time, I don't see any higher lows. But that does not mean if you are a long-term buyer of the S&P 500, I will say if you are one, then wait for the first higher low and then you phase a little bit of money in now. We don't know. I mean, the S&P 500, if you look on it at the weekly chart, let's just go for a weekly chart and then you will see what I'm talking here. It can actually go away. Well, let's have a look there. Then you will see. This is the weekly chart. I mean, there's not even a slightest change of a reversal here. Just look at that. I mean, it's still falling all the way. And there you are. If you look at the chart here, it's not even close to a neck. There's the next support. The proper next support is sitting at 3530. So, yes, if you want to buy it, wait for a turnaround candle or a higher low on a daily chart or a weekly chart. I think it's maybe early days just to go in and buy. I read a very interesting article, and the guy said there, while the interest rates are going up, usually just before the last one or the one where they announce on the Fed meeting that they will say, okay, next month it will be the last one. Usually then the market starts to turn around and then they've discounted all the interest rate hikes. So at the moment, unfortunately, I will not advise to buy it. Wait for a higher low or maybe a beautiful reversal on a daily candle. Then you get in. Otherwise, just sit on your hands. You can always buy in later when you want to buy. Well, we've got a request on Sibanye Stillwater. Remember, this share treated investors well. So if you look at this chart at the moment, I'm a little bit negative on the chart. Simple that there is maybe a massive head and shoulder formation in the making here. But I cannot see that it will play out if the rand starts to weaken a little bit and commodity prices stays where it is. There's the neckline. Well, luckily the share bounced off the neckline the other day at 40.90. That's positive. Well, at least it bounced off that, and let's hope that it stays above the neckline, because if this neckline that is at 40.90, if that turns into a resistance, really it can become very ugly for this company. I mean, they've got the wage negotiations now behind them. Everybody is now happy. Remember, they lost a lot of production, and that's maybe not yet in the figures. But if I look at the chart here on the short term, I will actually say let's have a look and see if there's not maybe a little bit of a sign of positivity. Because everybody that asked me this week, even our clients, they want to trade it. And they say, listen, we are hoping for a bounce. Now, if I look at this chart, let's have a look there. There you are. There's a beautiful falling wedge. Now, a falling wedge usually is a reversal chart, and we are right at the point where it can maybe trigger a tiny relief rally, and that is at 44 Rand. It will probably give us a nice relief rally. The target of this will be 47.10. Where's my stop loss? My stop loss will stay at that 40.90 so that you don't burn your fingers. Just keep in mind that commodity stocks, they act like this. They usually go up, and you believe that they will never come down. Let's just have a look there. There you are. There was a typical period where they just went up and up and up, and everybody was just so happy. Now suddenly, when it's under pressure, it can go much lower than what you anticipate. Can you remember a share like Anglo American? It fell way below 100 Rand before it turned around. Now it's a start of the market. At a certain point, it was very negative, and everybody was very nervous to buy that stock. Well, gold is is making everybody guessing. I actually make a joke. I do a small radio inset early in the mornings just to say what happened on the markets and give some levels through. And I made a joke the last couple of weeks. I said 1850 is the level of the gold price. Now this is exactly that. I mean, and everybody is waiting to see what's going to happen in gold. For me, it's quite simple. Although 1850 is my level where it always trades around, it's almost like stuck in that band. I will say there's a big consolidation on the go. There's the consolidation. While this consolidation is on the go, it's sometimes better just to sit on your hands and wait. And I know everybody is saying, yes, gold outperformed Bitcoin over the same time of period. It's performing better in inflationary environment that we're seeing now. The interest rates is this. And I mean, everybody's got views on the gold price at the moment. For me as a technical analyst, I've got no specific view. I just say, if gold can get above 1875, we can easily see a beautiful bounce all the way up to 1930. And if it goes below 1807, unfortunately, it can go all the way down to 1752. And that is the golden rule. Whenever you've got a stock that is stuck in a consolidation and it just trades in between two lines and you don't want to trade it either at the bottom of the line or the top of the resistance line, you just wait and you just say to yourself, let them fight themselves out. Let they show me where they want to bounce it or drop the price. Just wait. And this is the big thing. I think with gold, we are in a classic now. Everybody is trying to push the gold price in a certain direction, and gold is just telling us, listen, can you just give me a little bit of a breather? I'm making up my mind. I don't know if I want to go up or down, so please keep quiet and just sit and have some coffee. So while we're doing that, have some coffee, watch out for the next show, and we'll chat again and visit our website, www.fransklerk.com for more info, and we will chat again.